Today, let's talk about what we know about Kylo Ren. Warning, this contains the Force Awakens spoilers. So if you haven't seen that movie, 1, shame on you. Get your shit together. 2, do not watch this video because I am going to spoil a lot for you. And then you're gonna be mad at me, and you're gonna write shitty comments in the comment section, and I just don't wanna deal with that. Write shitty comments about other things that I say or do. Not about that. So what do we know about Kylo Ren? Well, Kylo Ren was born Ben Solo to Han Solo and Leia Organa, and from a young age he would show Force sensitivity, but also some personality traits of Darth Vader, which kind of worried people around him. As you can imagine, Anakin's personality traits and your son that's also Force sensitive, and there might be some tendency to fall into the dark side in your family. So from a young age, because of this Force sensitivity, and hoping that under Luke, it would kind of help guide Ben a little bit more, they ended up sending him to Luke Skywalker to be trained with his other students in the art of being a Jedi. And at one point, we're not exactly sure how or why, Kylo would be seduced by not only Snoke, but the dark side, and he'd start getting it in his head that Darth Vader was his idol, and he needed to complete what Darth Vader had started, which was the extermination of the Jedi and the ruling of the galaxy. And to meet that end, he ended up not only betraying Luke Skywalker, but he ended up exterminating his students. And this would cause Luke Skywalker to vanish, and it's also around this time that Ben Solo changed his name to Kylo Ren. It's also around this time that Kylo started building a lightsaber and started wearing a mask and a voice modulator to imitate his grandfather Darth Vader. His lightsaber evokes an ancient feel, especially with its roughly assembled hilt. Though it is made of modern components, and its crude appearance indicates it was built by an inexperienced hand. It contains a cracked kyber crystal that is stressed and barely able to contain the power of the weapon. Hence why the lateral plasma vents that also serve as crossguards. An array of focusing crystal activators split the plasma stream into perpendicular blade energy channels. The emitter shrouds on the crossguard protect the bearer's hand from the smaller blades. And this lightsaber is actually an unusual design that dates back thousands of years to the Great Scourge of Malachor. Kylo's helmet is specially designed after the battle gear of the Knights of Ren. The silver inlays radiates from the eyes as a symbol of power, and the integrated vocabulator projects Ren's voice. Ren's cowl is a remnant from his early training. So after joining the First Order and killing Luke Skywalker's students, Kylo would begin to combine his Jedi training along with the arcane dark side lore that he was beginning to learn under Snoke's tutelage. And of course, as you can imagine, these teachings, the dark side and Jedi, they contradict each other a little bit. And you would think that that would cause problems with Kylo, but it didn't. And in fact, the discord those two teachings being combined created actually helped him derive more power. Kylo Ren's reflexes and telekinetic defenses is also extremely powerful, and he is also a master at telepathic intrusion. And we see this through his interrogation of captives, along with a scary level of pain-inducing devices. He's also able to easily probe into the mind of his captives and pry deeply held secrets. And under the teachings of Snoke, he would develop not only those powers, but other powers as well. And Snoke would teach Kylo to kind of hone all his anger and his fiery temper into a fine point. Snoke would also teach Kylo to use his past, even though Kylo tries to bury it as much as possible, and use the uncomfortable feelings and the anger and the hatred that he gets from remembering his past into fueling his dark side power. Even though we see that Kylo doesn't have as much control over his temper and his anger as his grandfather, his idol, Darth Vader did. And we see this even in the movie where if something doesn't go his way, he throws a complete temper tantrum and destroys anything nearby with his lightsaber. But it's also because of these powers and having his superhuman reflexes because of the Force that Kylo Ren has no fear in battle. Even though he shows up after his stormtroopers do all the work and secure the victory, which is not to say that Kylo Ren is a coward or isn't secure in himself, but you send the pawns out first to secure something, and then the big guy comes out. That has nothing to do with Kylo Ren's security in himself. It's also interesting that Kylo Ren exists outside of the formal power structure of the First Order, and he has a direct link to Snoke. This sometimes causes a little bit of conflict in the First Order, as there are people that are of a high rank, and they have to bow down to Kylo Ren. So if Kylo Ren has a mission or something he's doing, the higher rank members, such as Hux, have to listen to Kylo Ren and his plans over any military objective that they have. And this purposely mimics Darth Vader's role in the old Galactic Empire. So Kylo has all these powers, he has all these abilities, he's growing, he's learning, and we know that through his veins pumps the blood of some of the most powerful Sith and Jedi that the galaxy has ever known. And because of this birthright, Kylo feels that it is his duty, it is his destiny to rule those in the galaxy weaker than him. And he aspires to build immunity to the light side and succeed where his grandfather Darth Vader failed. And this is part of the reason why he keeps Darth Vader's mask around, you know, besides that's his idol. But it's a reminder of the power of the dark side, but also of its weakness. And as mentioned earlier, because of his obsession with Darth Vader and feeling like because of his bloodline, because of this being his destiny, he needs to eradicate the Jedi. And he's actually fairly successful in this, which is mostly thanks to his deadly skills with the lightsaber. I know what you're about to type in that comment section. Don't do it. Don't even do it. It's what it says in the books. He has deadly lightsaber skills. Don't mention a 100-pound girl beating the shit out of him. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Just no. Moving on. So his deadly skills with the lightsaber would be the reason why the Return of the Jedi Order was halted, and the lightsaber and its many elegant combat forms would become largely unknown to the galaxy. And because of this and his killing of Luke Skywalker's students, he would earn the nickname Jedi Killer among the ranks of the First Order. And we would still see him trying to complete this mission of exterminating the Jedi in Episode 7 when he's hunting down Luke Skywalker, which is the last Jedi Master that they know of that could be training more Jedi to thwart their plans and uprise against the First Order. Lastly, I think it's important to point out that Kylo Ren is neither a Sith or a Jedi. I've seen a lot of confusion about that. Kylo Ren is actually part of a new archetype for a new generation of dark-side users that formed with the demise of the Sith. And Snoke actually feels like these new generation of dark side Force users, and specifically Kylo Ren, are the ideal embodiment of the Force, a focal point where the dark side and the light side meet. But of course, Snoke is also trying to teach Kylo immunity to the light. And to that end, he tells Kylo, at one point in the movie, as we saw, hey, off your father, and this will help with your training, we can complete it, and you're gonna be a lot more powerful, and then you can be all happy about being as powerful as your old granddaddy. And so in the movie, he ends up killing Han Solo to build that immunity, as Snoke has promised him it will do. So that is what we know about Kylo Ren so far. Hopefully we will get more comics or short stories or novels to kind of fill in more about him. I'm really hoping that we get something about his fall and his seduction to the dark side of the Force, especially through Snoke. So I'm still crossing my fingers for that. Besides that, make sure you come back every week for new Star Wars videos, Game of Thrones history, comics, and more.